Thanks for tuning in tonight to Scream Kings, where we're just a bunch of kings screaming about everything horror. My name is Tamon Kane. I'm your host tonight, and we have a couple of great guys here. We have Mark. Hey, Mark, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mark O.S., as you can see right there. I am the host of Midnight Social Distortion, and I am a huge horror head. I'm a horror blurred. If I get Fred Head, Buffy Horror, American Horror Story fanatic, all this stuff. So, and I'm a big 80s horror encyclopedia. So, yeah.
Ooh, Bobby likes it. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, what's up? I'm Bobby Torres, everybody. YouTube channel, Bobby Likes It Spooky. Also co-host Two People Under the Scares with my buddy Mike Brown here. And I'm a Halloween fanatic. I love everything Michael Myers for the most part. And I'm a huge 80s fan as well, as far as horror. And also, like Mark, American Horror Story. I love everything horror. Anytime I get a chance to talk about horror, I'm there. So yeah, that's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
I am Mike Brown, other half of the People Under the Scares podcast, resident shit talker in regards to horror. I like good horror movies, bad ones. I like 80s creature features, sci-fi shit, and I am a Lisa Wilcox Alice stan, and we're gonna leave it at that.
The borrower.
Everybody needs support. No, she's just an empath. She's definitely Peter Petrelli, so she just absorbs.
Peter Petrelli, I could
from the hero.
Siler,
she's a rogue.
She could be that. She could be Rogue.
Sure.
Rogue is also iconic. That's fine.
I'm an 80s slasher lover, Scream fanatic. No toxic fandom though, but Scream fanatic and expert in all things Scream and anything to do with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I got you. So tonight's topic, we're going to talk about Scream Queens. You're going to find out what that is and what it's not, and we're going to give you our top 10. But before we do that, we're going to sort of talk about what brought us to our love of horror. Let's see. Who want to go first? Oh, what was that, Bobby? Okay, sure.
Okay. We on tonight, but okay. There's nothing new. Well, my love of horror came from my family. My family is a horror-loving family, so every weekend we would go to our West Coast Video. That's a video store back in the day, and we would rent a new horror movie because I spent so much time with my uncles. So we watched a whole bunch of 80s trash, 90s trash, all types of trash, good horror movies, bad horror movies, whatever. And yeah, it just came from my family. That's why I love horror so much. And it took me a while to, like, a lot of my friends knew that I love horror growing up, but it didn't take me until, like, I guess the age I am now to actually put it to use as far as using YouTube and podcasting and things like that. I always just talk about it, but now I have platforms to actually talk about it. So, well, on a bigger, I guess, span. So yeah, that started my love for horror.
Ooh, Mark. What's your love of horror?
My love of horror grew from out of fear of horror at first. I used to be terrified to go into the horror section because I was the one that everybody would sit there like, yo, throw Freddy Krueger in his face and shut up. So I just blossomed from that. It's kind of got to the point where it's like, it went from being scared to being interested in it. And then, you kind of become more intrigued with stuff that, the unknown and stuff like this. So it gradually grew from me being terrified of horror to just indulging in it. It started, Fear Street, R.L. Stine, Stephen King, Nightmare series, late night Cinemax horror shows and stuff like that. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, Mike. Don't do that.
I didn't know they had those.
No, what type of shows on Cinemax were you watching that was scary? Well,
no, not shows, but they would be like have theme nights where they would sit there and play all the classics like Night of the Demons.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember USA Up All Night, and they used to play
that too.
Yeah, hosted by Miss Elvira, I think.
No, Rhonda
did she
Shear.
post something? Oh, tomato. Mikey, you want to tell us your horror story?
Mikey likes it.
I also started as a young little gaby watching horror movies. My family got me into it with Child's Play and I think Gremlins as well. And then I just gradually, once we started going to Blockbuster however many times it was, I would just go get a horror movie real quick. Mm-hmm. Sometimes make my brother get a horror movie and then tell him he can pick 2 next week or whatever it was. And I lied, of course. And that's just continued over the years. And now I'm just having a good time with all the horror people. Bobby, Mark, Brother Ghoulish, Kill the Dead, everybody.
Hey. Aw, I miss Blockbuster sort of kind of, right?
Yes.
I never hit a Blockbuster in my town, so.
Oh no.
Oh, Blockbuster's a huge part of my childhood. For me, it was more of like a hazing tradition. My older brothers and cousins used to sit all my younger cousins. It was 3 boys. We were all the same age in a room, and we used to watch horror movies. And I remember watching Candyman. I almost peed on myself because I wouldn't go to the bathroom because I was so scared. But they used to make us sit here and watch these horror movies, and I'm the only one who's like, but everybody else is like crying and all that type of stuff. We don't want to watch it. And then one beautiful day in 1996, they took me to a movie theater and got me a frozen Coke and a popcorn, and we stood up and watched the best horror slasher that you could think of. Sorry, Bobby. Scream. And that's what just took me into horror movies. I don't know. It's like my safe space. My stuffed animal, my blankie.
Yeah. Safe space. Agreed.
It's a safe space. And I get to meet all you cool people who love the horror space. It's definitely a connector.
It is.
And so that's what we're doing. So, Mark, you sort of brought us into it. What are you screaming about in horror? What's your horror news?
Well, I mentioned in my episode of the podcast, but I just want to bring it here to y'all in case y'all didn't get a chance to get around to it. But they did mention that the producers of the 2nd season of Scream, the TV series, had a plan for them to do a meta season, which would have been like they would have had Audrey and what's the girl name? The Brooke
Emma
had an affair. And then they would have, had what's his name? Kieran.
Noah.
No, Kieran.
Oh, Kieran.
He would have been like a Hannibal Lecter type character where Emma would have came back and tried to see like who's why are you killing? Who's out there killing people? And he's trying to put out
help them navigate.
The trail.
Yeah.
And what was going to eventually happen was that he was going to be one of the killers. And she was going to eventually kill him at the end of season 3. And then when his body is floating in the pool, they're going to pull back in the set. It'll be like, that's a wrap on Scream, the TV series for season 3. And they would have been like, so all the characters, like the actual people who play the characters, like Bex Taylor, Willa Fitzgerald, all of them would have been playing themselves. And then Kieran would have walked to the guy who plays Kieran would have walked into his dressing room, would have got killed by an actual Ghostface killer with the original mask on. And then season 4 would have started off with like somebody's obsessed with the Scream franchise, and they're killing off anybody who was a part of the franchise from the TV series up to the movies. That's how the series would have ended. They said they would have tried to reach out to Courtney Cox and try to get her to be come back as Gail Weathers. Was it something like something like Gail Weathers or something like that? I don't know, but they would have her try to come in and play herself or play Gail Weathers. I forgot which one it was, but it was just kind of like, okay,
new nightmarish,
right? They're gonna try to do a new nightmarish approach to it, and I thought that probably would have been interesting. But then they said, MTV was like, I think they shot themselves in the foot, and I did get confirmation that MTV wanted their own version of Pretty Little Liars. That's why we get this stupid ass Halloween episode. They wanted a Pretty Little Liars for their channel, and the writers were neither writers from the first set of writers for the season 1 and for season 2 wanted to give them that, and so that's why they decided to go with a different approach with season 3.
Oh God, why? Why do they do that to us? I'm all for supporting Black, television, but my goodness, what season 3 was not it. It was not it.
It wasn't that bad.
Child by TJ, the Blue Ranger and Keke Palmer was the only thing we had on that show.
Wait a minute, Jessica Sula. I'm not arguing with you right now. Okay, go ahead.
You didn't like Tyga's acting?
Oh God!
Honestly, it was a storyline for me that I couldn't take.
The storyline was kind of stupid. Like, how the fuck you gonna sit there and fake that you're your? Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the 3rd season of Scream. But how the fuck you gonna sit there and fake being your twin brother all those years and not have no? You don't snap at all. It's like that don't make it.
You should have been the killer. You had Tony Todd as a garbage man with a fake. I just can't do it.
And then fake out opening scene with they sat there, advertised to the high gods. Paris Jackson is going to do her first acting role in Scream: The Resurrection.
She was in it for like 5 seconds. I was
5 seconds. I'm like, I want to see her ass bloodied and gagged and drug across the damn floor. And she sat there and was like, "Here's some candy for the kids."
Like,
no, we need you.
You got that in American Horror Stories. She got fucked up in that.
Oh yeah,
that was yes, but
she's actually pretty decent, so I actually was okay with that.
Yeah.
Bobby, you got something?
I don't really have much, but I just back to Halloween.
Yes.
There's news. Jamie Lee Curtis, James Jude Courtney, and I think David Gordon Green They keep talking about the surprise ending that we're going to get in Halloween Ends, and I'm really curious on what that's going to be. Right. I would love that. I would gag if that was.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they would work that in. But I want to know what this surprise ending is. Like, the news is everybody's guessing like, oh, they're going to end up really being siblings again, and everybody's going to be pissed at that again. And I'm really curious on I'm really curious on what the surprise and twist going to be in Halloween Ends after this. And it better not be something fucking stupid because they hyping it up. And I don't like it, and it better be something worth it. So yeah,
I'm nervous because whatever this radio tower situation is, I think it all ties into that. And if he's big, I will say this before we get to later on conversations about him. But if this is about controlling him, if we have another cult of Thorn, if we do, I'm gonna have a whole attitude because you could have just kept the whole attitude. Keep it mysterious.
Yes.
What radio tower? This lets y'all know that I've been avoiding spoilers for like the life of me. So what radio tower? Exactly. I mean, I want to go to surprise. What radio tower? Is some type of mysterious radio tower that's been.
If you watch Halloween Kills, you'll see a radio tower in Haddonfield throughout almost all the shots. It's like a blinking red light. So if you rewatch it, you'll see it behind them. Like behind like Michael, or when they're at the bar, you'll see it in the background. And then David Gordon Green said the radio tower has a significant role in Halloween Ends. So, yeah, I'm curious to know what that's.
So we don't know. We don't know what that looks like.
In the novelization of Halloween Kills, Tommy Doyle does have a tattoo of the Cult of Thorn symbol on it. So
I have a theory. I think it's Stevie Wayne from The Fog in a radio tower, and she's talking to Michael, and she's telling him to kill people.
Come on, Selma Blair? No, I'm just...
No. I'm not Selma Blair, but no, we're talking about the beautiful Adrienne Barbeau. That's sexy.
Yeah. Oh, wow, we forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't put it on the list. Oop.
Damn.
How can we forget?
So real quick. So the past few weeks, I've been obsessed with From on Epix. It is a really good show. It has great character development, great storyline. It's like Lost, Salem's Lot, all these different elements mixed into one. So I was at JJ Fish picking up my food earlier, and I saw Harold Perrineau. He tweeted that they have a season 2 coming out. So I'll suggest y'all all get the free trial and cancel it immediately so you can then binge the show, and then you won't get charged again in 7 days.
And be like me,
That's
who
hard.
still have the Epic subscription and don't know what to do with it because nothing else is on Epic.
I want to try to watch that Chapel Wave show.
Yes.
With Adrian Brody on there. I'm going to try to watch that.
Is it horror?
Yeah, that's the
I think
prequel
it is
to it's the prequel to Salem's Lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Say less. That's on Epic?
Oh, I got to watch it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to watch that. Okay.
But like you were saying, From is super dope. And the guy from Oz and some other things that we know him from. I can't think of his name, unfortunately.
Harold.
He was in he's just fantastic. He's absolutely
Amazing.
fantastic. And his son. And man,
His son.
he's fantastic. He has a character in the show. He has a son. And he's absolutely fantastic.
I'm sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm not going to be shady tonight. I'm trying to be very sweet and kind.
Was that shade? Wait a minute.
I'm so used
There
to
you
Mike
go.
doing that to me when we were on a podcast. He'd be like,
Shady.
So I'm happy it's coming out on here.
So now people see the real.
Right.
Oh my
They
God.
see
The
you. They
actual
see you.
reactions, yes.
I'm screaming about a few things. I'm screaming about Daniel Harris and Robert Englund and Bill Moseley in this new horror movie called Natty Knock.
I'm ready.
There's no information about it, but we just know Daniel Harris and Robert Englund. You can stop the conversation with me. I'll be in the theaters to go see whatever the hell horror movie they're putting out. And I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be super dope. I only can imagine. I'm screaming about Nope, maybe. I don't know anything about it, so that's frustrating me. But I'm excited for it regardless.
Don't y'all tell me nothing when y'all find out. I want to know nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. Go in with a fresh spiel, because another spoiler alert. I'm just gonna say this about spoilers and stuff like that. If I had went into Scream 2022 and have known that Billy Loomis was gonna be in the movie, I would have been mad as hell.
Nobody knew
because that was when he popped up in that mirror. I'm still to this day. Nobody knew that. And the way when he popped up in that mirror, the 5 people in the theater, because I went to a super early matinee opening weekend, everybody gagged. I can hear all 5 gasp, including mine, like, so that you have to have stuff like that to sit there and snatch the audiences and stuff like that, so you have to snatch people with stuff like that. So I was not expecting that at all.
That's what I love about, I'm happy what they did with the Scream trailer, because a lot of trailers that we've been getting lately, they just spoil the whole thing. You know what I mean? They tell you everybody that's going to be in it. They tell you what it's going to be about. I mean, you get a few exciting things in it, but it's pretty much a spoiler trailer. So, imagine going back into like other movies that we've seen like last year and not knowing really much about it and being surprised, So I'm happy that they did keep Billy Loomis, a secret until we actually went and seen a movie.
I still think there were some things they showed in the trailer that they could have kept. Like, based off the trailer, Dewey was dead. We already knew that. It's a percentage that he wasn't going to die, but if you're a fan and like me, who's always reading and researching things about it, he's dead. And then you saw the girl on fire in the kitchen, process of elimination. She's either the killer or she's just a regular victim. But I was surprised with her reveal.
They kind of split that real good in the trailer, though, because they had the ghost face with the metal mask with the flamethrower.
Yeah, so smart.
Yeah. They kind of, because I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't know that was what's his name?
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard in there. I was like, oh shit, that's fine.
Shout out to Radio Silence for actually doing a really good job with paying homage to Wes Craven and giving the fans what they needed, but also laying some groundwork to push the franchise forward. Because was it perfect? No, but it was a really, 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 really close. It was really.
I think it made the fans very happy.
And
and I think what they did was this was the fans movie, but the next one we really can see like what Radio Silence can do without Wes's framework completely holding them to some type of, whatever. So like, I'm excited for the next one, and that's one thing. Something else I'm screaming about. So there's a tagline or synopsis already released. And this tagline is that after a brutal murder, of a survivor from a previous attack, Gail Withers comes to investigate with the help of friends. That's all we have so far. So that's why everybody's thinking someone, either Kirby,
They better not.
and the rest of them, or Kirby doesn't make sense. You don't bring her back just to kill her like that.
Yeah,
That's
don't.
the opening.
No.
You know, everybody was like, Kirby's alive. Now she's dead.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But-
I would be so annoyed if they do that. So
Yeah, I would be
annoyed.
annoyed too. Yeah, but also they're filming in Toronto starting in June, and they secured. Scream came out in March. No, January of 2022. They secured January 14th. They secured the production office in Toronto the week before Scream 22 came out, which means that they've already had this signed, sealed, delivered, a script already done, some type of framework for Scream 2, or whatever it's going to be called, before they even released they got a sequel.
And I call it Scream too. Go ahead.
Everyone's saying Scream the sequel. That's what it's going to be called. But no, I'm just excited that they've already had this in mind. That they're going to give us a new franchise. And it's going to be in Toronto, and it's going to be in a college setting.
Who's going to college though?
We have 4 kids that can go to college. Well, 3
I would
years
not-
to college.
Yeah.
But I don't think all 4 of them should be at the same college. That's just so unbelievable.
Sam could go to college, even though she's older than they are. But Randy and Sydney going to college? Okay, we'll give you that. I'm not going to let you go anywhere without me.
Yeah.
Mindy and Chad, probably I can see them separated.
Mm.
I said Chad was going to join the police force in Woodsboro.
I'll beat his ass. He better not.
In honor of Dewey.
Exactly.
In honor of Dewey, who did nothing for him, actually. But this concept of like Mindy and Tara pledging a sorority has been being thrown out a lot. Like, not like how they did in Scream 2, where it was like hinted around, but actually a part of the plot line. But who knows? We don't know.
Party.
Okay, sorority row, Scream Queens, House on Sorority Row too, right? I guess.
No, have some sorority row.
No House on Sorority Row, but that's what I'm screaming about. Did everybody go?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I think we should take a quick commercial break and then come back and let's get to it. All right, so now what we've been waiting for, our Scream Queens. But we have to educate you guys a little bit about what a Scream Queen is and what it's not. I think Mike's going to help us out with that. Mike, what is a Scream Queen?
Yes, I had to look it up and educate my damn self because I had an idea in my own head that was wrong. So, a Scream Queen is an actress that is associated with the horror genre. So this can happen either with a notable role in the genre, so that could be one entry that's just iconic, or they just happen to be an actress that's in recurring roles in the horror genre. That could be, so there's 2 different types.
Okay, so Mia Farrow in Rosemary's Baby, is that like a isolated movie for her? So she could be considered.
She would be considered
as a Scream Queen.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. And then I guess Jamie Lee Curtis will be considered one who's probably both. Oh, she's an iconic ones, but a lot of them.
And other ones. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got it. Y'all got that out there? Great. Y'all got it.
And that is, again, now they can be a Scream Queen, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are a final girl. So a final girl is just the last woman or women alive to confront the killer at the end of the movie. So you can be a final girl and not be a Scream Queen, because we did not mention Julie James in this list we made. Notice that.
And
so she's a final girl, but she did not make the list on Scream Queen.
She did not. We got beef, eternal beef with her. Eternal beef. What makes a good what makes a good Scream Queen? Body.
Oh, you call me?
Yeah.
What makes a great Scream Queen? I feel like they have to have spunk. I feel like they have to have Every time I think of, let me stop.
Teens with attitude. Come on.
No, I think of Samantha Jones.
Yeah, Samantha Jones.
But we're not going to go there. This is a different video.
Oh, Spunk. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have to have Spunk, and they have to give, at least according to me, iconic status. And I just feel like they have to, kind of like everything what Mike said, like they have to be in recurring movies, and just be memorable, in my opinion. Be very memorable. And,
yes.
and everybody on this list, I think we have people that are memorable.
I think so.
Yeah,
Marky.
You said Mikey or Mark?
Mark.
Oh. What makes a good scream queen? I was somebody who also is not shy about claiming that scream, owning that scream queen title. Because, there's a lot of women who are like, they fit the definition that Mike gave us at the beginning of the segment, but it's a lot of them who do not like to be called that.
Mm-hmm.
I did a horror movie. That's all. I'm not a scream queen.
Yeah, it was a good script, whatever.
It was a good script. I just did it because, I needed the money and stuff like that. But some of the people in the list that we created tonight have embraced that title. They love it. They sit there and be like, yeah, and give me more, So that's why I feel like it's a good scream queen. Somebody who is not ashamed to sit there and accept that title, whether they wanted to or not. Not saying it should be forced on them, but I'm just saying like they accepted it because they take pride in what they did, whether it was like however they got the shot to do what they had to do, or however they got the dialogue out. If they had to scream, if they didn't have to scream, it's just like, yeah, I'm doing another horror movie, so what? So that type of thing. That's why I think it's a good scream.
I love that. Owning your scream queenness. I absolutely love that.
Now, some people change their minds throughout the years, because I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis in the beginning really didn't. She was one that would say that I did it for the check, or just like, I did a horror movie. But now, as she starts to see that the fan base is big and they love her for that, and it just keep growing and growing, and she's back in this franchise, now I feel like she's now starting to accept her iconic status as a scream queen.
Yeah, and making a platform for it, because I saw an interview with her and Neve Campbell, and they were talking about scream queens and being there.
Yes.
Like, that is. Which was an iconic interview to watch, by the way.
I
love the interview.
It's so good.
Yeah. I believe that's a great example of two women, because even Neve Campbell got tired of doing like scream movies. And, like when she was ready to be done with them and go do other big stuff that wasn't horror related. But now she's like doing conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see her in The Lincoln Lawyer when it premieres on Netflix next month. And so I'm just like, as long as she's sitting there doing other shit and still maintaining, like, I can go do a horror movie right quick. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love it because she does more than horror, but she knows that her popularity and her fandom comes from the Scream franchise. That's the bottom line. She was in
Party of Five.
she was in that little show. I'm sorry, she's not little show. She was in Party of Five. Yes, she was.
Well, it's funny because. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was kidding. We don't have to.
We're not. If it wasn't for Scream, we know she was in Craft and Wild Things, but Scream is Neve Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and Party of Five. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, own your shit. For me, a scream queen is someone who, one, has a very, very, very distinguishable scream. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, her scream. Neve Campbell, when she does scream, her scream. And one of my personal favorites, which I shouldn't have said that, but Sarah Michelle Gellar, her damn scream.
Right.
I will never forget when she found Elsa's body, and I know she did that summer. Mama was not playing. That was my sister dead on the floor, and she let you know that.
Even though she was a whole ass bitch, though, but you'd killed my sister now.
Poor Elsa.
She's misunderstood.
She's misunderstood.
Bye, Mike.
Older sister.
She's her older sister.
She is misunderstood. Just like in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
She's just jealous.
jealous.
Helen got all the attention and she felt some type of way.
Exactly.
And Helen came crawling back. So you gonna work these hours.
So there was no need for her to be an asshole. She came crawling back. Okay, cool.
Look, you just have some responsibilities, Helen. So I need you to just take it seriously, and that's all.
Can I have Helen's New York number? Oh no, honey. If you need to see Helen, she's right there in women's fragrance. So she's right over there.
She couldn't wait to say that to somebody. Like, yeah,
look at your prom queen.
Look at your prom queen over there.
Y'all know Helen ain't innocent. Y'all know she ain't innocent.
Now. I'll stand for.
Wait a minute. Hold up, we're not gonna do no Helen Shiver slander.
It's no slander.
I want to.
It's no slander. I'm just saying she's not innocent. It's a sibling relationship. They both, I'm sure, be going at each other.
They shady
because of Elsa.
Probably the one who cut her hair. Because she probably cut her
hair. Right, I agree. She did it.
She did it.
A bitch.
And you know what? Elsa's dead because of her sister's actions, and that ain't right.
No, Elsa's dead because her dumb ass didn't lock the fucking door.
The back door because of white suburbia.
If we want to talk about dumb, we want to talk about Helen turning around when she's running away from somebody. If y'all want to talk about dumb, I mean,
no,
really,
she would have done that because
you want to box.
If Elsa had sat there and locked her fucking door, like everybody's at the fucking Croaker Fest, and you at the damn store being antisocial because your sister's a goddamn Croaker queen, and you gonna sit there and be at the store, and then after hours, and you don't sit there and close the fucking doors. Who goes to a store late at night and don't lock fucking doors?
But this is the thing. One door is locked, but the other one isn't.
It's not.
I don't understand. You just like one door.
I feel like Elsa was working with the hook man.
Exactly.
She was.
Mm-hmm. And he came like, I gotta shut your ass up because you gonna fuck up every goddamn thing. Let me kill you right
quick. There you go.
Well,
she was with Ben. She was Will Benson. No, that's the sequel. Ben. She was a Ben. Yeah.
She was fucking Ben. No, you know she was fucking. She was fucking Ben's son, Will.
Will Benson. Come on, Requel. We got a new trilogy coming. We tying it all together. Elsa, Will Benson.
Elsa, Carla. I see you. Don't worry about them. I see you. I understand.
You don't see nobody sees Elsa. You know why?
I see the tilapia. That pale ass tilapia being parsed. I'm drinking. I'm sorry, but she's a bitch. So, I don't like her.
Real quick, I like what everybody's saying about what a good scream queen is. I do think you need some tears as well.
Yeah,
you need to kind of be able to push through the tears and deal with the trauma, and then you need trauma.
J. Billy Curtis.
Trauma.
And then you got to have a little. You got to have some tenacity to you at a certain point. Like you can't just be crying the whole time. So you have to be multifaceted to be a scream queen, I think.
Hell yes, and different ranges of your scream. Like Jennifer Love Hewitt is not on this list for multiple reasons, but her scream was annoying and squeaky, and I didn't like it.
I didn't mind her scream, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't mind the scream.
I didn't mind her scream. It was just her character overall that just.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
I can't believe she was gonna. She auditioned.
I will not take from her. She got one of the most iconic lines. What are you waiting for? Everybody loves
true.
Them.
No shade. No shade. Yeah.
Everybody loves them.
What are you waiting for? Huh? Insert. What are you waiting for? Based on those, we compiled a list of our top 10 scream queens, and I think it's time. We can start at number 10, which is.
Oh,
top number 10, Mark Patton, missing from number 2, also known as Nightmare on Elm Street's number 2 protagonist.
Yes,
but no shade. He did his good screaming.
You want to talk about screams? That man, it came from the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know it's a great scream. It came from the stomach.
It hurt.
And it hurt, yeah. And I was talking to Mike about this the other day. Like, people need to give Mark Patton his props. You know what I mean? That's why I'm happy for that documentary. That's on Sutter. Everybody needs to go watch that. It's called Scream Queen, right?
Right.
Yeah. And everybody needs to watch that to see that Mark Patton is a scream queen.
Yes, he is. In so many facets, it's perfect for him.
Yes.
And I rewatched Scream too because I remember as a child watching it and didn't really like it because I didn't understand it. but I watched it probably like a couple of months ago, and I recorded on my phone some of his clips of him screaming, and he is just phenomenal. He's great.
I wish he would do more stuff recently, and whoever got him to do the Amityville Toy House, don't waste that man's presence, his talent like that. He was in it.
Amityville is the horror franchise, not Scream. If we're gonna be real about it, I don't know. Your volume.
I don't know. Okay. My mic went out. I couldn't hear what you said.
Quick plug. Hold up. What did you just say?
I heard fighting words is what I heard.
Yeah, he chose violence, but quick plug. I'm gonna do an episode on those type of movies soon down the line. So, and I'd like to come in here and talk to y'all about it later on too.
Of course,
right. We don't have to watch them, right? You're just gonna talk to us.
No, I'm gonna save y'all this time. I'm gonna watch all the horrible ass, the unofficial sequels. Anything past Amityville Dollhouse is bullshit. So I'm gonna watch all of those.
Agreed.
And then give y'all my take on them worst, because anybody can we can go do an Amityville horror movie. It could be set in my backyard.
Which one was Ryan Reynolds in?
That was the remake.
That was the remake.
Yeah. Is that that's one that we don't like, or?
You can include that.
All right.
Yeah, that was all right. You include that. I call them the unofficial sequels. I know we got off topic a little bit, but anything like the only two that came out past Dollhouse that are official is the remake and the Amityville with Bella. What's her name? Bella
Thorne.
Bella Thorne. Those are the official Amityville movies. But anything after that, like Amityville in the Hood, Amityville Toy House, Amityville.
Wait, those are real movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amityville Karen.
As an official Amityville resident, I'm sick of y'all. I need y'all to stop this shit. Stop making these damn Amityville movies.
Are you really from Amityville?
I am from Amityville.
Okay.
I'm tired of y'all.
Now it's okay.
No, because I have a friend who's also from Amityville, and if I post anything about Amityville, he gets pissed. He gets pissed. He's also in Atlanta, so that's why I'm like, okay.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Talk later. Yeah,
we'll talk later. I'll tell y'all.
We'll talk later.
Does it start with an O?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I had a comment, but I'm just gonna. So that moves us right on to
number nine, Nueve.
Okay,
Neve Campbell.
Yes,
Neve Campbell. She is the co-lead of the Scream franchise.
Not co-lead.
She is the co-lead to Courtney Cox in the Scream franchise as the main character.
Wow.
Technically she is.
Oh, period. And now there's only two. There are two co-leads to the Scream franchise breathing. And Neve Campbell is one of them. And the story sort of centers around her. And her.
Mark, I don't know how you letting this go. Like, I don't know.
Because he knows what me and Mark has to understand. He knows what's up. We've been in these streets for 25 years. Ducking and dodging.
But listen, though, I agree, like Sid and Gail forever, but we gotta give the babies their due.
Why does it have to be babies? Can they not do full-grown adults in the next Scream movie?
I mean, but at this point in time, they're babies, and who's to sit there and say that in Scream, whatever, 6, they're going to be like, they're going to jump 3 years in the future, some shit like that, like they did with Scream, between Scream and Scream 2. So,
the same night.
That would be hot.
Yeah, but I would be, Neve and Courtney and Jen are hurt, so we don't want to see her crying in a wheelchair again, unless she dies.
Take them out. 1, 2, 3. Done.
You're mad. And I get it.
But are we calling Neve Campbell? Is she Auntie Neve or is she cousin because Neve right now?
I think she's cousin Neve. Gail is auntie to them. She's auntie.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Because Neve Campbell's not only done Scream, she's also one of the 4 of the Coven. I call it the St. Andrew's Academy Coven.
That's what they are.
Mm-hmm. And so I think she did that. And did she do another horror movie?
No.
Y'all sure?
I mean, Wild Things is a thriller, so that doesn't count. But
well, House of Cards is to me horror, but
it is not. Midnight, heal my scars. Heal my scars, but
no, I'm just saying because she's amazing, and I will hope that's somebody I mentioned earlier who has gotten to the point where she has accepted her Scream Queen status. I just want her to do another horror movie outside of Scream. Nothing. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Could she do another franchise, whatever it may be, a new franchise or existing one, and not be seen? That's Sidney Prescott.
Well, she could be seen.
So. It'd be hard, yeah.
Because she's been in every. Is she the only one that's been in every movie of a horror franchise?
Her and Courtney,
yeah,
and David. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about Gail. See.
Yeah, you do.
But see, even Courtney Cox has done that with the show she's on now, Shining Vale.
So good.
Horror. So, I mean, somebody did a fucked up ass Scream concept trailer with, and they took scenes from Shining Vale.
They should. I've seen it.
I was like, my friend sent me this shit. Don't send me this shit no damn.
And not because I'm partial to Gail Weathers and Courtney Cox, but Shining Vale is good, y'all. And she screams her face off multiple times in multiple episodes.
I want to see it.
It's so good. It's on Stars.
But no, Neve Campbell, it'd be hard for her to do another horror movie, true enough, but I just want to see her do something that it would be like, kind of like how Sarah Michelle Gellar, one of the reasons why she chose Helen Shivers and Cece, because she wanted to not be that, she wanted to take a break from being Buffy, and she wanted to die in the movie that she was in and stuff like
and
that.
Vulnerable.
So, be vulnerable. So I want to see Sydney be like somebody's me and Tamon talked about this. I want Neve Campbell to be I forgot the girl's name in the book Final Girl.
Which one? The sorority one or the main girl?
The one the Scream one was based on, the like
not the Final Girl support group. There's a book called Final Girl.
By Riley Stagger.
I want her to be the one that comes in as like
the campground survivor.
Yeah. Is that the one who got killed?
The hotel survivor you're talking about. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I want to be that. Or she could be the first person. The one who starts the book. You know, they find out something happened to her. They'd be like,
the sorority. Lisa was her.
Yeah.
The
she could be
girl.
either one of those. And then, or she can, because I prefer her being Final Girls than being the Final Girl support group. Because if she's in that, they're going to sit there and put her right in that role of the city character, and I want her to venture away from that. I want her to show a range in horror that she doesn't have to always be the main person everybody's going after, but she can be. That's why I like Scream 2022 so much, because she was like, yo, I'm here just to help your ass out. This is your shit. But
you killed my friend.
Kids.
That's really why I'm here.
That's really why I'm here, but I got kids, and I need to make sure this motherfucker's dead before I go home.
Allegedly. She allegedly has children.
Mike is convinced that there are fake children in that stroller.
They didn't show the babies in the stroller. Look, she behind something.
She's pushing dolls.
She's lost her mind. I see you. She's gone crazy. She doesn't have a husband. She's pushing invisible kids, and she's a killer in Stab 3.
I hate
I'm
it.
okay with that.
I don't want her to go. I swear, this is the pilot. I want everybody to know this. Day one, I do not support Sidney Prescott snapping, because that's the goddamn case. Laurie Strode should have snapped by now, but she kind of did. But
hello,
Laurie Strode is not out there killing people left and right. She ain't that shaking people because, I'm just saying, I don't want to see that happen to
Sydney. I would love to see her therapist, like her folder. I would love to read her notes. Like, this bitch seems really well adjusted at this point. I really want to see what's in her notes. Okay, so Neve Campbell's number 9. Number 8 is
Lisa Wilcox? Oh no.
Karen
Black. Woo woo.
Oh, that's your girl, Bobby.
Yeah, I love Karen Black.
Solid.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Trilogy of Terror.
Yes.
Invaders from Mars. House of 1,000 Corpses. Like, come on.
Burnt Offerings.
Yes.
Children of the Corn 5 or 4.
Oh, child.
Really?
But
it doesn't matter. She's in it. So
she's in it, yeah.
To be fair, she is in it, yeah.
Yeah. But she has just an iconic scream to me. Like, I feel like, again, I recently just came off watching Invaders from Mars, and just seeing her scream every time something happened is just great. It's just, I love it. I miss her. I wish she was still alive.
R.I.P. Karen.
Yes.
And her face in Trilogy of Terror when she's possessed, and as you see the teeth, like that's forever ingrained in my memory.
Yes.
Forever.
Stab in the ground.
Yes.
Yes. I want that as a poster.
That'd be
Black
creepy.
light.
Wake up in the middle of the
Black-
night and you see some shit like that. Could you sleep with that in your room?
Yeah.
I would be a scream queen because that would probably terrify me.
You said some crazy shit.
Whatever. I was going to say for honorable mention that Taymon is also a scream queen, but go ahead. Y'all can go.
We're not at the honorable mention section yet. But
I'm just saying he's gonna be my honorable mention in the scream queen section. But anyway. Y'all have not seen Taymon playing Dead by Daylight or Friday 13th. Y'all don't seen it yet.
It's terrifying.
Oh,
it's
good.
terrifying.
I'm glad you take. Yes, please take that role.
My neighbors
crown.
probably should have came over. Nobody comes to check on me, so I guess nobody fucking cares. But that's how much I be screaming in this house playing Friday and Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Thanks. So Karen Black, we love you. R.I.P. Coming in at number 7 is Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I did it. Final Destination, Cloverfield Lane, Black Christmas, Miss Thing, and she has a really good scream too. Is she also a final girl? You never know what Final Destination.
Cloverfield Lane, I guess technically.
Oh yeah.
They set her up on Black Christmas, at least in my opinion, like a final girl, and she wasn't.
That whole cast was set up to be. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about Black Christmas because it had the potential to be amazing.
Oh, well, I personally love it.
Wait,
yeah.
I do love it, but
which
06.
Yeah, please don't do it, Mark.
That's an amazing movie.
It's great, but I think it could have been
That's
better.
an amazing movie.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
I think it's way better
Then what?
It's way better than what we got in 2019.
Don't say the original. Of course. Yeah, we don't talk about that one. Yeah. We don't know her.
We don't know her.
Exactly. We don't know her. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Is she local? What was one of your favorite Mary Elizabeth Winstead performances?
Final Destination 3 for me.
Me too.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Me too.
I like Cloverfield Lane.
That is a good one, but I've only seen the movie twice, but I've always run back to one Final Destination 3 because I felt like that was the stronger of the sequels outside of 5, but because I liked her character and she was like very relatable. Like an annoying little sister.
Perfect.
Like Helen. Go on.
Hold on, let me take. Nope.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna put these launch codes in right quick. Let me see.
Where's my book of shadows? I don't have to leave this house. Let me get you real quick.
Let me describe where they do that at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me describe where they do that at. I done took my whole earring out. Lord have mercy.
Shit. No. But yeah, she's very relatable.
I can't hear you.
Texas Battle. Who looks good but don't look, he looks good.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can barely hear you.
I wasn't saying anything yet.
Yes,
I just put my earring back in.
But okay, so I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead in Final Destination 3. Mike, what's your favorite role of hers?
Cloverfield Lane, I don't remember her name. Personally, I didn't choose her to be in this top 10.
Ooh.
But I respect and recognize where she's at on here. I understand what the Academy decided.
Don't slap me. Don't slap me.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Y'all know why he's pressed. We'll get to it when we get these comments. I'll tell y'all why he's pressed. He is super pressed over a usurper. But we're not gonna talk about that.
I respect her. I respect
her. Thank you so much for respecting her, gangster.
Yes.
So, now we can roll to our top screen queen number 6, which is Barbara Crampton. Yes.
Yes, God.
Yes. Mark, why you love Barbara?
I love Barbara because I recently saw In Search of Darkness Part 2, and they did a segment on her. And I loved her before I saw that segment, but it just made me love her even more because she really sat there and said that she realized that she would not be in the game because if it wasn't for the horror movies that she was doing in the 80s and stuff like that. So she took a break, an unintentional break, because people were not coming for her for the horror roles. Like as soon as she started to realize that she did Castle Freak, and she was like, I love doing horror. I really do love doing this genre. When she came into that realization, they stopped calling her. Like all the horror studios stopped calling her, probably because they felt that she was too old. So when the directors of You're Next, is that Radio Silence? They did
One Moment.
The other movie, Ready or Not. But whoever did You're Next called her, and that was her first time to be back in horror. And I was like, and I realized that she's played in a lot of shit that I grew up with in the 80s and didn't realize until I realized what her name was when I really started paying attention to it. So I loved her in Chopping Mall. She was screaming and she was kind of annoying, but it was like she played up a role. You know what I'm saying? She played up there.
Great at being annoying. To
the point where it was like, you know, that's what she came and did her job. She did that. I loved her in The Beyond. Not The Beyond, but what's it called?
Reanimator. Is that something?
Batman Returns.
But I loved the Reanimator, but also it's a movie that she played with Kenneth Faree and the guy who played the Reanimator. My mind's going blank right now. What's his name? Jeffrey Combs.
Jacob's Wife.
It's some movie called anyway, she played in that, and
that is recent. Oh.
I loved her in that, and then she also did, like I said, You're Next. I haven't seen Jacob's Wife yet. This is Jacob's Wife is recent. I'm talking about all her 80s roles. I haven't seen Castle Freak. You know, shockingly, I haven't seen Castle Freak yet. But everything she's been in, I've always loved it. Always.
The vampire movie, The Sisterhood.
Castle Freak was
the what?
The vampire movie called The Sisterhood.
I've never heard of that. Is that recent?
No, this is 2004. I've seen this poster.
Oh,
she was in a newer movie too. I think it came out like a year or two ago, and it was about like a cult or something like that. I'm not too sure. I forgot the name of it.
King Knight.
And if y'all haven't seen We Have Always Been Here, or if you guys have not seen We're Still Here, that's another great movie that she's in. That's very creepy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check that out.
Yeah. I don't care what movie it is that she's been in. I have always loved it. And I feel like it's because she enjoys doing what she does and it comes across on the screen. And she has a multitude of range. She has a big range. Hell, she was in Super Fan. I enjoyed all her scenes of Super Fan.
Yeah.
Because her scenes made sense.
You're talking about the one that's on Shudder, right? The one they went to the Airbnb to do. Yeah, that shit was funny. Yeah. Yeah,
I love her in there. And it's just, she made the movie for me because outside of her role in that movie, it sucked. But
yeah,
that's I love Barbara Crampton. I don't know if anybody has any favorites.
I do.
I love annoying in Your Next. That's it. That's all I got. No, you got it. I had one thing. I thought she was annoying in Your Next. That's it.
I loved her, and I mean, I love that people is hiring her now, because like what Mark said, like she wasn't in much horror, and a lot of people wasn't hiring her. Now you're starting to see her everywhere. She's on the cover of Fangoria now for Jacob's Wife. Like that's a big thing. And you're starting to see her on Shudder Originals, and she's just starting to become very, very popular, and people's like, oh, I wonder who this lady is, and they going back and seeing her old work, which I love. I watched her on Creepshow last year's season, and she played like this bitchy landlord, and she gave me Adrienne Barbeau vibes from the first Creepshow movie, the crate situation, like how bitchy she was. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's so hilarious.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's really good, and then she kind of gets what she deserves in that one too. And I just love seeing her pop up everywhere, and she's very, very grateful, and you can tell like she connects with all her fans. She just she's a really, really a great actress and woman. I love to see more of her.
And I will say one last thing about Barbara Crampton. I feel like there's some type of, I think she has some melanin in her somewhere, because she's or she's an actual vampire, because she looks like she doesn't look like she's aged at all.
When she was in, was it wasn't Ready or Not, it was You're Next, right, that she was in?
Yeah.
When she was there and she was playing a mom, I was like, she's playing a mom? Like, because she looks so young in that movie to me. And I was just like, okay.
She's in Your Next.
Interesting. Yeah.
She was annoying.
They had to age her up in that movie, and we're still here.
That's true.
And she still looked young to me, though.
Because I was looking at her like, I don't believe you had all these damn kids. All these adult ass kids.
I agree. I agree with that. She did not look. She had all those kids. I recently watched Your Next like 1 or 2 weeks ago.
I'm just
right, exactly. I was so confused.
Come on, Crispin.
Your point, Mark. Like when I was watching Jacob's Wife, I was thinking about the whole age thing and how I do enjoy it because it's a vampire movie. So I enjoy seeing horror, and it's not like 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds in the fucking movie. Like they can be full-grown adults and going through shit. And it's very character-driven, her character in that movie. Yeah. So I really enjoy it. And she is very interactive, I noticed online as well, with the fans.
Right. See, I love that. Own your shit. Own what makes you great and why people love you.
Now, she is one that owns it. She definitely does.
Because we return it back. We return it back. Number 5 is...
Linnea Quigley.
Queen. Quigmeister.
I just flamed out right there, because y'all don't understand. Y'all do not understand the power of Linnea Quigley. If you got Linnea Quigley in your goddamn movie in the 80s, you had a goddamn movie. It was like, yo, fuck everybody else. Do we have Linnea Quigley on the line? It was like, we got her. Okay, cool. We just build around her.
35 years. She could be 35, 40-year-old playing a damn teenager. They still want her ass in the fucking movie because Night of the Demons. She was old as shit playing a teenager. But guess what?
I believed it though. I believed it. I was just saying like,
my favorite character.
Because all the kids,
I mean, no, the kids looked older than her in that movie.
It's honestly. Like anytime Blair quickly comes on scene, you know that's her.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lipstick and the pink. It is the hairstyle from she was everything in Demon Knight. It was the nipples and the titties and the French kissing. Didn't she have like
the Demons, baby?
Didn't the nipples?
Night the Demons, huh?
Didn't she take the lipstick and pushing her
boob.
nipple?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you said Demon Knight though.
And she was in the remake.
Same thing.
Cameo.
Yeah.
Right. Was she in the remake? Which was
she was in
Elizabeth?
She was like somebody in the house. They were trick-or-treating and she just gave them the candy. And she was in like her outfit.
But beautiful trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
Yay! I only saw that movie once. But that one once, yeah.
How about it?
Her voice is so distinct too. Like when you hear her talk, like she just got this like dry, her voice drags. Like when you hear her talk, you know it's Linnea Quigley. Yes. No.
And I love her outside of her horror stuff because she had also big range. I loved her in Vice Academy. I loved her. It's a movie called, it's not Reform School Girls, but it's something dealing with like, I think it's a
girls.
Dream Girl. She was.
I think it's a parody of Reform School Girls because she was. No,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what the name of the movie is right now though, but she was hilarious in there. And I remember when they sat there had to chase after her ass because she did something real fucked up, and they chased after her. And all thing you hear in the background is her getting shot and killed. and they shot her ass and stuff like that. It's a comedy movie, but it was still funny. But she played the mean girl in there. But Linnea Quigley,
of course she did.
I didn't realize.
I loved
my
her
first
in
time
Savage
knowing who she
Streets.
was Night of the Demons, but I didn't realize. I didn't realize that she was also the chick in Return of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like they did a good job of masking who she was, because I didn't realize at first that's who it was.
Yeah, that
But now that I know, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't know it was her, and when she talked, I was like, that voice sounds very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at the credits, Linnea Quigley.
Wait, she
I
was
didn't
in
see her
Pumpkinhead
role.
too.
Yeah,
That's my
Yeah, she was
favorite
in
one. I didn't even know
Pumpkinhead
she
too.
was in that one.
she was the one. When they went, this
Yeah, who
dude
was
was
she in that
fucking.
one?
She was I don't want to say she was a prostitute, but she was like this dude's girlfriend, and they just got through fucking, and Pumpkinhead came and killed him, and so she saw him, and she screamed when she saw Pumpkinhead, but they found her the next morning, and she was mute, and she had screamed so much that she muted herself, like she was like, I can't. They're like, we can't get a word out of her, and she was like shell shocked that she saw Pumpkinhead. Yeah.
I remember she was one of the weird bodies inside Freddy's chest when he did this. And the one that shows his breast is Linnea Quigley.
Of course.
This is Linnea Quigley.
Right.
The best tits in Hollywood.
There you go.
Exactly. And I mean, she was also in Terminator. She was in Graduation Day.
Savage Streets with Linda Blair.
Yes. And I haven't seen
It's
it
not-
yet, though.
Ooh. She's not, so in Savage Street, she's not, because that's not typically a horror film, but she plays a much more quieter role, like she's mute, so she doesn't talk. And something bad happens to her, unfortunately, so that's why Linda Blair is getting revenge for what happened to her sister.
Right.
But she plays a role that you never really see her play before, which is great, but it's cool to see Linda Blair and Linnea Quigley in the same movie.
Yep,
Yeah.
and Nightmare Sisters, and also what's the other movie? She played in this movie called Creepazoids, and I did not like that.
Creepazoids!
I was pissed off.
Bonkers.
Yes.
Bonkers. Watch, if you take an edible and watch the movie if you need
Right.
to.
But the movie that I loved the most in outside of Night of the Demons and Return of the Living Dead is Sorority Babes and the Slime Ball Bowl of Ramen, because to me that's the only movie she survived in. She wasn't like the one that came to kill. She was the final girl.
Cannon fodder.
I love that she ended up becoming the final girl. She deserved it.
Yes. Happy she made it on the list. Yes, Linnea Quigley. We couldn't have a list without her.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back and reveal to everybody our top 4. So I know you guys are wondering who's that number 1 spot. You're going to find out soon. We'll be right back.
Now you have Viserys, who's kind of like meh as a king.
Oh no, I like him.
I like him as a king. Stop, thanks.
You know,
I don't like that everyone keeps calling him like weak and all these other things. And I'm like, actually, I think he's actually working for the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's necessarily working for the people as much as that, like, he's kind of gotten himself in a predicament, like, which is really no fault of his own as much as it's part of, like, the patriarchy.
And we're back. That was a wonderful commercial. So we're going to go ahead and jump right back into our countdown. And in the number 4 spot, we have Queen D. Wallace. Yes. Cujo is when I fell in love with D. Wallace.
The Howling.
Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
Critters. Red Christmas recently.
Hansel and Gretel.
Really?
She was in a different version of Hansel and Gretel.
She's in the Halloween universe. She was the foster mother or stepmother or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she got killed, didn't she?
I hated them. They always do pretty deep. But I loved her in Cujo and Critters. I remember seeing, I think the first one out of both of those I saw was Critters. And everybody in Critters got their ass whooped. Their whole entire family got their ass whooped. So it was just like they took a licking and kept on ticking, but she whooped their ass in Critters. And then seeing her in Cujo just terrified the fuck out of me because I was like, you know, my mom was like, I don't see how she did it because I would have sat there and probably died.
Yeah, I agree. It was so good that like I've been thinking for years, like how can we remake Cujo? I don't think you can. Cujo.
That's the remake.
It must be black. I'm sorry.
Cujo.
It's a black dog this time. You can't.
They're gonna put a pit on there.
It's a whole pit.
Yeah.
I love her performance in The Frighteners.
Mm-hmm.
When Michael J. Fox, it was so good.
You know, for the longest time, I thought that was the teacher from Child's Play 2.
Oh, shit.
I really thought that was her. For years, I thought.
Got that ass whooped with the ruler.
Hey, we're going to play a game. I'll tear that ass up. Chucky does not play at all. But Dee Wallace is definitely queen.
Yes,
she's definitely queen.
And she's Auntie D. I would say she gets Auntie status for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Auntie D. I thought she was like Grandma D, but okay, sure, we'll do that.
Call her Auntie. I'm gonna give her Grandma status.
Grandy.
That's a good grandma.
Grandy, I like that.
Grandy.
You know what? She's also great in Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem. She plays like
witches.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's really, really great in that.
Did she play like the nice witch?
She came off as nice, but that bitch was evil.
Right, exactly. She was evil as fuck. Them the scary ones. Them the ones that's really scary. The ones
that's the ones you have to look out for.
You get to look out for because they're the most sadistic ones. Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Always the nice ones.
But y'all have to watch her in Hansel and Gretel. She plays like a witch on there, and she's just relentless.
Which Hansel and Gretel?
There's so many. Just find the one with Dee Wallace.
Okay, yeah, but it's like, which one?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
I found it.
Yeah.
Who's in this?
Is that the one where they like
she plays Lilith. No, that's the one. I just watched that one recently. That's with Famke.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Miss Jean Grey.
Famke. Forgot about Famke.
We love you, Queen D. And number 3, I think the top 3 is going to be really interesting, and maybe not a surprise to like the real fans. But like I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So in the top 3rd position, we have Queen Danielle Harris.
Yes.
I don't even know how many
flowers.
All the flowers.
Jamie Lloyd.
List all her movies.
The chick from the Hatchet series.
Mary Beth.
There you go. This is not hard, but Melissa from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's dead.
Yes.
They killed her, so yes, it's a horror movie.
Period.
See No Evil 2.
I was pissed off. I was pissed off at that. Go ahead.
Me too. She made a couple dumb decisions.
Urban Legend.
Yes, my girl Taj. Taj. They did her wrong too.
Thought they was getting it in, but she was getting murdered. What type of roommate are you? At least watch.
Is really
well. To be fair, when she was fucking the first time, she said the light. So she
don't look at me.
Turn off the light. She has so much attitude in that movie, and I love it. She was so irked for no reason.
Yes,
I think she might have the most guttural, like tragic scream out of everybody on this list. Because that when she's getting killed at Halloween or getting stabbed up.
Which one?
Halloween 2.
That scream, I felt it.
Yes.
Tears. I was in the theater wanting to cry.
I don't know who I told this to, but like her performance.
Yeah. She did that. That was my favorite. The fact that she survived the first movie.
Dope, Rob Zombie.
Yeah, because I was like expecting when he yanked her ass back inside that damn house. I'm like,
the best part of the trailer.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
I was like, she's gone. When they came in the house, and she was sitting this like, she pretty much doing the Tina. She was sitting there doing the Tina thing.
And you know, on the commentary, she was sick. Yeah. She was just like, I had to scream, and she said I had a fucking cold. Even when they were dragging her, when Tyler Mane was dragging her, she was sick and she couldn't get to scream out like she wanted to. But it still worked for her. Right, it still worked for her.
She's been screaming like that since Halloween 4.
Yes.
She's amazing.
I love her. Love her. To me, she's the saving force of both Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I know Scout was real good, but I love Scout's chase scene down the street. I had down that street.
Yeah.
But, just her knowing, like, in Halloween 2, I like that she's knew somebody was in the room with her. And she's like, I know this motherfucker is not in here with me.
And she slowly turned around.
And she turned around, like, just go ahead, just like.
No, that's the thing. I don't think she knew, because she was minding her business about to brush her teeth, and she looked up, and that part right there, I felt like my heart dropped for her.
Right.
Mine did too. Could you imagine fixing your breakfast after you survived this like a year ago and turn around, this food was still in my house again? I'm dead. Just kill me.
Right.
And they didn't even have to show what happened to her. You just hear the screams, the slow motion moment.
That's why it was beautiful.
That was it. That's all you needed.
That's why it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It did cause her.
And that still hurt my feelings just thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too.
But you know, earlier you said could Neve Campbell play in another franchise and not be Sydney? I think Danielle Harris did great coming back to her own franchise, playing a new character.
Yeah.
A legacy character at that. A legacy character. Annie Brackett.
Yes.
And she looked like a teenager and was nowhere near it.
And she was 30 when she played that.
She looked like she was just, I swear to God, she was like 18, 19 years old. She played that role.
Yeah. That's how you pay homage. Thank you, Rob Zombie. That's why that's one of my favorite ones, because Danielle Harris is in it. Yeah. And like you said, Mark, when she got snatched back in that house,
that was the trailer for me. I was like, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
And it better not slow it down. I'm saying it better not slow that shit down.
Even in her performances in the 4th and 5th Halloween, I think were still good. Like her as a child. Like she has always had it.
Tina!
And you know this, and don't tell mom the babysitter's dead and giving that lady a heart attack eventually. I mean,
that middle finger.
Yep. She became a murderer in Halloween 4, and she killed the old lady and don't tell mom the babysitter.
This is interesting because they said, like, because at the end of Halloween 4, they originally wanted her to be the killer. They wanted her to continue the rest of the Halloween as a killer, but they said they didn't know what to do, how to make a child killer handle the rest of the franchise. But that would have been interesting to see a child killer after Michael Myers. Like, I wonder how they would have done that.
I wonder if they would have. Go ahead, Tamar.
That's interesting because, like, the orphan worked because you found out that the orphan was actually a grown ass woman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But also, if you saw that movie with the TV show with Kristen Bell, The Woman Across the Street, and something. Spoiler alert: the killer is actually a child. Oh,
I haven't seen it.
I'm glad I saw it.
Thank you.
Spoiler alert. Funny as fuck.
and she twirls Kristen to a nothing.
But see, that's the thing. I haven't seen it either. That's why I threw my earphones off. I'm like, y'all spoil this shit for me. But no, I loved her in the Halloween movie. But I wonder if they would have sat there and if they had made her the killer, would they have jumped forward in time and she would not have been Jamie Lloyd anymore?
No, because
kind of like they did with Michael Myers.
The problem was they couldn't figure out how to make a child a killer, which means the story would have been set as her being a child killer.
Yeah,
you know,
because I don't think in the 80s we had like child.
It wouldn't be the same feel because I thought I heard it with Child's Play. The Child's Play was originally you don't know if it's Andy or the doll that's killed,
right?
And then they just evolved it to it just being the doll. Because even a doll killing people sounds silly as fuck. So I think if they did it right, it could work. And even like in The Orphan, like you said, it can work. Yeah. And she's not herself; she's full of darkness.
Right. I think it could work, but back then, putting complete settings in like their age bracket in school, like Chucky, the TV show works in that age bracket because it could be Jake as the killer too, right? Yeah. So, but that's because it's filmed and the theme is centered around those group of kids at that age. Yeah. But she was 9 or something?
Yeah, like 9.
And that wasn't heard of, giving them their own little world. They're just kids.
And how would they do that? Like, you have to have some great writers because it's like, all right, now you're Michael Myers' niece, but like, what is your goal? What is your motive of just killing people? As
like the bad seed.
Just randomly?
Like the bad seed. I want those shoes. Give them back to me, Leroy. If not, you're dead. She took I won the spelling bee, but I came in second place. I want that badge. You're dead.
Imagine seeing Danielle Harris in that type of role as a child. I think she would have killed that. So.
She would have slayed it. She would have slayed it. And even what we talked about earlier in her franchise of Halloween, maybe she is a killer. But I hate the idea of a copycat Michael Myers, so never mind. Like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. That's a good one.
Number 2.
Oh, almost forgot about her.
We're not worthy. So my queen, Sarah Michelle Gellar, I had the biggest crush on her growing up. I loved her. From Kendall Kane on Young and the Restless to
See, you fucking up.
It's not Young and the Restless.
It's All My Children.
All My Children, Kendall Kane. Okay, so Kendall Kane, All My Children, loved her from what I saw of her in that. And then, of course, in Cruel Intentions and horror.
Cruel Intentions.
But Buffy is what probably brought me to her. And when I saw what happened to her, and I know she did last summer, I was broken up in the movie theaters.
I'm going to take it back even further with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Swan's Crossing, Sydney Rutledge, the baddest bitch in town. I follow her from there to All My Children, and you know how I felt. Mike and Bobby know how I felt about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
I like
how I wanted it to be a TV show, how I wanted to have action figures and all this shit. So to walk into a grocery store and see that not only is Sarah Michelle Gellar going to be in Buffy, she's going to be playing Buffy.
Yeah.
Serendipity. It was like, my life is made right now. So when I tell y'all I was pre-gaming, I pre-gamed for months before Buffy the Vampire Slayer hit on my screen, and I have not looked back since. And it's phenomenal. So but I realized I was in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar. So when she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, I saw it on VHS. I didn't go to the theater and see it. So I was sitting there watching it, and when she turned around, and then she was right there at the damn parade, and the damn fisherman came out and got her. Mm-hmm. I felt like the movie ended right there.
It did.
It was like there was nothing else to watch. It was like I tuned out. Like it took me 3 or 4 reviewings of that movie to realize, oh, okay, Ben Willis, Ben got his hand chopped off and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But to see her in that ice under that damn like she really died. Like they really killed Sarah Michelle Gellar. They really killed Helen Shivers. So this is why every July 4th is National Helen Shivers Day.
Mm-hmm.
And
we celebrate that.
And also
CC, a good death of CC.
Listen, when they
Omega Baby,
let me tell you how much of a Scream fan I was. I was upset about it because Taymon probably already know what I'm going with this. When you was a kid and you kept rewinding back the damn commercials and you sat there and realized, okay, she has on the same outfit throughout this entire chase scene. She's going to die. When they sit there threw her off the balcony on the trailer, I was like, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Maybe
my
she
sister was like, no, it's not. My sister was like, that's not Buff. I said, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar going off the damn ledge. She's not going to survive it. I mean, it's not like she jumped off the balcony. She was lunged off the balcony.
Yeah.
Ghostface had enough of her.
I mean, she put up a little bit of a fight in this. You know,
no, she was a perfect blonde sorority girl. Get out the house.
Yeah. Well, all she did was go down the bike, and that was.
I mean, it was better than what she did in I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean,
I Know What You Did Last Summer. She put up a block when he first hit her.
And then on top of that, you cannot. Mike, you don't want this. Look, she gave us the best chase scene.
I'm shocked.
It was a great chase scene. It was an amazing chase scene. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying. I forgot what my point was because y'all
good.
Exactly.
Y'all
exactly.
Because there has not
been more of a fight. I guess her running is more of a fight in I Know What You Did Last Summer, but yeah,
it's not fighting.
There has not been a more iconic chase scene since Helen Shivers. And What?
I mean,
You talk about Gail.
Tamon?
Talk about
but
Gail.
that's debatable. But all I was
There hasn't been.
Are you talking about Gels chasing in Scream 2? Because
For
I
sure.
personally don't really care for that. It doesn't do nothing for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't ask you that. And
It wasn't enough.
I didn't even ask you that. And all I have to say is I still rank Gales
I knew
right
where you were
under.
going.
Okay, you're psychic, Raven. So I was just like,
I can see into the Pakuda.
I'm sorry, but the image of the image of Helen Shivers coming around that corner and the fishing behind her is iconic. It's iconic. Can't nobody
just like Gail up against the wall, looking around the corner is iconic. I get it, yeah. Totally, I get it.
Let me go piss right quick.
You can't take no breaks in the middle.
Whatever, you pissing me off.
No shade. Sarah Michelle Gellar is the number one for me. And next two is Gail, Bobby. And
number three is, what's the name from Prom Night? But go ahead.
I was going to say Tara Reid from Urban Legends.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you that one.
And then Laurie Strode in
Urban
the
Legend though
hospital.
is such a struggle. It's such a struggle. Like I feel like Tara Reid cannot scream. I swear. I felt so
It's like
bad.
this raspy horse thing she got going, right?
I love her chasing though. It's really great. But she
was great.
Yeah.
But all hope was lost for Helen when she died in that alleyway. Even though she did block, boom. When he first swung at her and she was clawing at his eyes, Helen was trying to live, okay? She jumped 2 stories down.
And mind you, clawing at his eyes.
She was clawing. She was trying to get him off of her.
She fought way more than Elsa did. Elsa just sat there like,
look.
She was getting ready for her death.
No, we're not going to do this.
Take me now.
We're not going to do this. Helen knew what was up, though. Helen knew some shit was going on. Elsa didn't know what was going on. Elsa just
got something.
Elsa's working.
She sat there and posed for her death. She got ready.
Elsa is working. She was startled. Helen knew what was up. Helen knew what was up.
Someone's harassing me. Oh, that's Cece. She was like, someone's chasing me. She's like, do what I say, goddammit.
At the end of the day, she should have ran her ass in that crowd. That's all I'm going to say.
He was already there.
Let's get to number one.
Yeah, I think it's time. And I think it's going to be a big surprise. Okay. Number one.
Waste no time.
Number one is Scream Queen, royalty, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Queen of trauma.
Trauma.
The trauma that we went through. You know,
And
addressing the trauma that Lori Activia.
Yes.
So, I mean, what do we say about Jamie Lee Curtis besides Prom Night, The Fall, the train one? What is it called?
Terror Train.
Terror Train.
Yeah.
Every Halloween rendition you can think of. My favorite is H2O, but
okay.
Oh yeah.
And she's royalty. Her mother is Janet Leigh, which is the kill scene in Psycho in the shower. So I mean,
Scream Queen.
that puts her above everybody. Scream Queen. Hey, Janet.
Scream Queen. The movie show.
And she was in Scream Queens. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, she was also in the TV show Scream Queen. So I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is the Scream Queen, and that's hard for me to say sometimes. But yeah, it's true.
It was another horror movie she was in that a lot of people don't talk about much. It's called Night something. But I know it took place in a road something. It took place in Australia, I believe. So she's she in Prom Night, of course, and she did her thing. And
oh yes,
she's another person who sat there and embraced her Scream Queen status later in life. Oh, and Virus.
Oh yes, Virus.
She hates Virus. I seen an interview with her, and she said, "Yeah, that movie was trash."
I hate it too.
But that's another thing about her. That's kind of scary too. Waking up in your mom's body. That's kind of freaky. Waking up in your daughter's body. But I feel like But that's another thing about her, that she could sit there and admit that I did this as a contractual obligation. But that don't mean I don't like making horror movies, because she sat there and did Halloween Resurrection against her will, and I feel like, to me personally,
why did she do that against her will?
This point, because they was a contract, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Oh,
it? I could be wrong. Because the thing about it is that she survived Halloween H2O. Yeah. It was so soon after the movie came out. And she was like,
and she said, if you're going to have me in this movie, just kill me in the beginning. Like, I don't want to continue doing this. Like, I chopped this fucking head off and y'all want me back on another one? Just kill me in the beginning.
which is probably everybody's least favorite Halloween or second least favorite.
What's the second least favorite?
Who's everybody? Well, who's everybody first?
My first favorite is where Jamie Lloyd not favorite, but the one I hate the most is the one where Jamie Lloyd dies at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curse of Michael Myers.
Curse of Michael Myers is on a rocky road. I don't hate it. I still enjoy aspects of that movie.
Yeah, aspects, yeah.
But Resurrection is definitely number one most hated Halloween movie for me.
Is that Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I seen this. I thought I would never put together.
And I'm glad you said that, Bobby, because I've seen rankings. This is why I don't rank shit. And I'm going to tell y'all on this pilot right here, some of y'all rankings are horrible. That's y'all's personal opinion. Enough. Somebody ranked, they said that Halloween Kills was way worse than Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it. I just feel like they just jump on the train of everybody else hating that movie. So they just
as far as what?
Yeah, because I didn't like Halloween Kills, but I have reasons. But I wouldn't ever say it's beneath
Resurrection.
No,
right.
Does
it have a better storyline than Halloween Kills?
They probably would say it has a storyline. I think that's the problem. Halloween Kills don't. To most people, don't have a storyline. Where Resurrection has a storyline. But
agreed.
But Halloween Kills still is way better than Resurrection.
Way better.
Facts. I do agree. I didn't like the storyline, like the reboot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I felt the same way, but it's not Resurrection. Even though the idea of a reality show in the Myers house feels current, but it doesn't.
I mean, at that time, at that time, because we were in the it was like, reality shows were becoming big. You had Real World, Big Brother, and everybody was doing that type of thing. So they were trying to fit it into a horror film, Halloween movie at that, and it just was off.
Right, and to piggyback off of that, I felt like they should have went with an original idea and not try to have Michael Myers coming to the house just killing people left and right, and nobody.
Why was he there?
This is mama house.
This is home. Yeah, this is home.
Yeah,
but it's
he
like
came home after killing Lori. He's like, "Oh, who are these hoes up in my house?"
Right.
So y'all trying me? I came here to relax. I came home to relax and I have things set up. You're dead.
And now I got more shit. There you go.
Don't worry about it.
As Gray might say, they were invading his home, and he was just defending himself and his property. And
so he's really not the villain. They are in that one.
Right. That's why we don't care for none of them. Not a one. Not even the survivor.
What's that blonde girl, sort of slutty, like they always play? But who's that blonde girl? And
Katie Sackhoff. Katie Sackhoff.
I know it.
AKA Robot Chicken.
I don't know her from Robot Chicken. I seen her on. She was on one of those Hunted in Connecticut movies. I think it was part 2. She was in that. Yeah. And Oculus. She was actually great in Oculus. I liked her in that.
Oculus is good.
Yeah, she was the mom.
She came back from Halloween Resurrection and redeemed herself with Battlestar Galactica because she played I forgot her character name in there though, but she played a big pivotal role in there and she showed her range. And I'm like, girl, I forgive you for Halloween Resurrection. That was a check. I understand. So she's also been in like she's been in The Flash.
Oh, she played the Pink Ranger in that version of that YouTube.
The dark
with James Vanderbeek, which was amazing.
That was amazing. Amazing.
She played Campbell.
That's the movie we deserve.
So that's your honorable mention. Good. That's one you got.
Not mine, but
oh man. But yes, Jamie Lee Curtis, number one. She was amazing. We all love her. Queen.
And been amazing is gonna always be amazing.
Yes.
No dispute.
Yes. All right.
Fight us.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
Now, going into honorable mentions, keep in mind they can have one distinctive role. It doesn't have to be many to be a scream queen. So,
yes, sir.
First, I am choosing Lupita Nyong'o from Us.
Okay.
Just as of right now, in my head when I think of her. That's the movie I think of, and she was a scream queen and a final girl in my eyes, and a villain, I guess technically. Mm-hmm. But I look forward to seeing her in more stuff. I wasn't really feeling that Little Monsters movie, but
I haven't seen it.
Looking forward to seeing. It's like a comedy horror kind of thing.
Yeah,
but she's giving real badass energy in the movie, and I look forward to seeing more in the future. And my second choice is none other than Lisa Wilcox, Alice, the Dream Master. You know who she is. The birther of the Dream Child and the Dream Master. The guardian of dreams. The real one.
Freddy's horn! I'm just kidding.
The nemesis of Freddy, who has abilities.
Oh, and, Kristen.
No. I want to sit there.
Kristen is the one who dragged her into it. That's who Kristen is.
She got Kristen in the water.
Well, you know what? We can talk about Kristen on a later date. I want to piggyback off of you and throw Lisa Wilcox in with the Quiet Room. She was also in there. She's done a lot of other horror stuff too. So yeah.
Thank you.
Who's next?
You. Who's your honorable mention?
Me?
Well,
oh shit!
Wait. Before you go, Mark. Lupita. I think she has the range ability to be a great final girl and scream queen. Just based off the things I've seen her in, I think she would be amazing. If she had the right project, she would be amazing.
The descent down that damn escalator with whatever that shit is, where she's bloody. It was to me, it was like a Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm about to go fuck Freddy up type of visual thing going on. So she definitely has the potential to do all that.
Yes. Yeah, she needs the right team.
Yeah. For me, Linda Blair is one because we know her as Reagan from The Exorcist and The Exorcist Part 2. But she's also been in a lot of horror movies like Hell Night. There was this movie, Scream. I forget what it's called. She was in the cameo Scream, but okay, cool. She was a news reporter. Mm-hmm. But she was also in this movie called Witchery, which is bonkers. She was in there with David Hasselhoff, and they were trapped on this island with this witch. It was crazy because she kind of got a little possessed with that too. And she was also in Repossessed. If y'all have not seen Repossessed,
I love that.
Leslie Nielsen. Yes. I love it.
That was my introduction to the whole Exorcist situation, which is crazy. Oh. I saw Repossessed first, and then later in life went to go watch The Exorcist and was terrified.
I think I was like,
huh?
I think me too. I think I was also one who saw Repossessed first.
Repossessed did not prepare me from The Exorcist. That shit was terrifying. But even if I was in my adult age, so. And my second honorable mention, and I know some people probably like, why didn't you include her in the main thing? But Heather Langenkamp, I mean, she's somebody who was like, I done did my part in the acting realm, but she's just starred in other movies. It's like,
behind the scenes and stuff now too.
She's more behind the scenes because her and her husband own a makeup effects studio, and they do makeup effects for a lot of movies that we actually do love. So she, of course we all know her as Nancy Thompson, but she also has been in other things outside of that. So that's my two.
I thought Nancy Thompson was Rooney Mara.
I mean, technically she is.
She's Scout Taylor to Laurie Strode, so don't act like she doesn't exist.
Was she more believable as a distraught person without sleep? And
no, her and Katie Cassidy should have switched spots.
Yeah,
that would have
been interesting.
Yes. They played it like she was the final girl.
But she's not.
That was the only good thing about that movie. Other than that, it fucking sucked. And
I don't know about
Cal Gardner.
It is not that.
It's not that bad.
It is horrible.
Okay.
You're speaking to a Freddie Steve, so believe what he says.
Mark, we're so sorry that movie offended you and how it made you feel.
It did offend me. It did offend me. I felt very attacked when that movie came out. I felt like I was attacked personally in my soul because I was like, how the fuck does the trailer be better than the goddamn movie? The Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 trailer is way better than the goddamn movie.
I mean,
Katie Cassidy should have been the lead.
She should have been.
And on this
Nan-
list, too.
And Nancy Thompson is Rooney Mara didn't get a chance to play Nancy Thompson. She played Nancy Hallbrook. They changed the names of the characters in the remake.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
We don't know her.
Well, we don't know Nancy.
At all.
This is the alternate reality, multiverse.
Yes.
My honorable mentions are Vera Farmiga.
Okay.
Conjuring.
From The Conjuring and Psycho TV show, which is called Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
There you go. Bates Motel. And I watched a YouTube clip of a guy who analyzes like screams or analyzes a whole bunch of stuff in movies. And she had a scream in maybe the first or second Conjuring that was disgusting. She's amazing. And I'm sorry she wasn't on the list, but Vera is awesome. Awesome sauce.
She is.
And my last honorable mention goes to someone who should have been on the main list, but you need to take a chance. And she's been in the industry for a very long time. She's had a chase scene in the 80s. She had a chase scene in the 90s.
Jennifer Aniston?
Not Leprechaun. You're close, though.
Lisa Kudrow?
Y'all trying me real tough right now. And
wait, there she did have Lisa Kudrow did have a chase scene on Friends. Well, not chase scene. She was running.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. Didn't know that, so that's a fun fact about Miss Kudrow. She's a queen also. But no, Courtney Cox is on my list. She was in He-Man, and she had an amazing chase scene in He-Man. If you've never seen it, it's awesome. And then in Scream 2, if you don't remember when Randy died and they opened the trailer, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that's
I forgot she was in He-Man, Masters of the Universe. I loved her in that. Yes.
She had a good chase scene in that, and she screamed. When Parker Posey died in Scream 3, she had a great scream. When she saw Kenny's dead body on the news van in Scream 1, she had a great scream. Scream 4, when she got stabbed. Scream 5, she didn't scream at all. She was just mad. So yeah, that's my honorable mention. Gail Weathers. Thank you. Yeah.
Gail Hailstorm here. Reporting live. I like Gail Hailstorm too.
I do too.
I love it.
Sherry O'Terry, right?
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes. So my two, one of them is Scout Teller Compton from the Halloween remakes. I chose her. Yes, she's been doing a lot of horror, a lot of low budget horror, but she's been in a lot of shit. But she's mostly noticed for the Halloween remakes, and her screams are great. She makes a great final girl, even though she did annoy me in the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the theatrical version. I didn't mind the uncut version of her. The theatrical version was kind of just like, girl. But she was great. I also just realized that she was in the movie Obsessed with Beyonce, and she played the babysitter. Because I was watching it the other day, and I was just like, that's not horror, but in some ways, I guess it is.
Yeah, we'll count it.
Yeah. And she was...
Did she get yanked out the window in Halloween? In the car when she was talking about the boogeyman?
Yes. In the first one. She got yanked out the... And then that awesome, edit, because they didn't add this into the original ending, but they had to go back and do reshoots. But when she was inside the ceiling and Michael was doing the fucking thing to try to get her off the ceiling, I love that moment. And then when she falls and they both fall off the balcony together, so great. And then that scream after she shoots him in the fucking head with all that blood on her, come on. So I have Scout Teller Compton. She's great. And my second choice is Sarah Paulson. She's not...
The killer's escaping!
He's escaping! The killer's escaping! No.
Y'all cannot deny that she's a great screen queen for American Horror Story. She's amazing. It even became a meme where people searching for the screaming bitch of American Horror Story. If you do that, it pops up when it says Sarah Paulson. Yes.
When she stabbed herself in the eye.
Oh my God. No, the best line Sarah Paulson ever uttered in American Horror Story history is, I'm not from America. I'm not used to this bloody carnage.
I'm not from here. I'm not used to all this carnage.
When we talk about Roanoke, is such a fun fucking
one of my favorite seasons.
Yes, thank you for somebody else love Roanoke.
Yeah,
I love Roanoke.
That's the one I would have wanted. I would have wanted to been in that season, either behind or in front of the camera. That would have been such a fun season.
Yeah,
it was creative. It was new.
Yeah,
not like what we just got, but it was creative. It was new.
Child,
It
was a change.
Jr. was great. He was great.
It was a change in there, and I feel like most of that came from the strong performances of Sarah Paulson, Angela Bassett, and Adina Porter. They carried that last half of this season because every week you tune in and see what them three hoes are gonna get into. I swear to God,
y'all make me want to rewatch it now.
Right.
Let's do it.
Y'all got me want to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween again.
Right.
Me too.
And now this.
To all my fans, I had so much to give you. I'm so sorry. Come on, Audrey Tyndall.
And then another thing about Sarah Paulson in this season was the fact that, spoiler alert, she did die
for the first time.
Audrey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, bitch, don't count me out. I'm coming back as Lana Winters in the last episode.
Right.
This is my show. This is still my show. Come
because
on,
you're like, okay, I played the actress in the first few episodes of my Roanoke Nightmare. I'm coming back as this new character named Audrey because, but don't count me out yet. I am back as Lana Winters. You guys cannot get rid of me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the moment when they first, all of them got back in the house and Angela Bassett and they were watching Adina Porter and Lily Rabe argue, and then Angela Bassett was recording and she's like,
yeah.
They were so messy.
Even Evan Peters, she had to drink. Evan Peters was like, there's a whole
something whiny and pathetic. I nailed it.
Yes. She was so good.
Yes.
Sarah Paulson, I have to add her in there because she hasn't done many movies as far as horror movies, but in the American Horror Story, and I believe that Hulu show called Run, she was great in that too.
Mm-hmm. Run was good. Yeah. The movie Run, she was good in Bird Box in the beginning with Sandra Bullock.
Bird Box, yeah.
She was great in her 5 minutes.
Yes. So yes, my second honorable mention goes to Miss Sarah Paulson.
Can I just want the viewers to know that we debated and went back and forth, and you guys maybe will see that footage one day about this list because all these, we love everyone we listed, but some of them we like more or less. So a lot of time went to this list. And I want to throw in Emily Blunt from Quiet Place before we leave. That performance of her giving birth in the bathtub while the mother, even though she couldn't scream, you felt her scream.
Yeah.
And I thought Emily Blunt has dumbass range, and she's, what I got for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks, guys? How you feel about our list that we came up with?
I feel great. I feel like this is a good list. I mean, it's good to give some surprises in some of these lists, and they're not as, I don't want to call them generic, but basic. Because some people sit there and they do lists like this for clout, and they just sit there and put the people they think everybody's going to want to see on the list and stuff.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Nev Campbell,
Yes. It's been done. It's been done. Do we really need
exactly. It's been done.
We can strike them off the list right now. I mean, we have 3 open spots.
And guess what? We have people that can fill it. So we'll be.
We sure do. We sure do.
That's not Alice.
Damn, you have to go. You have to go there.
I have to let him know.
But just know that this is just the beginning of a lot of shade in the black horror community, in the black gay horror community, just shade, period. So this is like the view of horror movies.
Oh, I'll
be ready for
y'all. That's a great way to phrase us.
I will be ready for y'all.
You were very shady.
Let's go.
But our love of horror movies has not gone too far. it hasn't gone far enough. So look forward to what's happening on the Scream Kings. We're going to have some great topics, some great debates, some great discussions. And you can find me, Tamon Kane, at Tamon Kane, at every place you can think of: Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. Yeah, that's where you can find me. And Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me at The Anti-Critic on Twitter and Instagram, Midnight Social Distortion, or Marco Estes. My Marco Estes profile is private because my boys here get to share my private life than everybody else. But if you want to see all my horror related stuff, Midnight Social Distortion is where you need to go.
That part. Bobby?
Yes, you can find me, Bobby Torres, with a Z, not an S, on Twitter and Instagram. Bobby Likes to Spook You on my YouTube page, and also The People Under the Scares with my beautiful friend Michael Brown here. We just started. Well, I just joined this not too long ago, so I'm fairly new. But yeah, you can check me out all over those platforms. I don't know what to call them.
Mikey likes it.
Well, you can find me at ThackerayBinks86. Shout out to Hocus Pocus. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at those handles, and also with Bobby, the People Under the Scares podcast, on all the podcasting platforms and all that good jazz.
Make sure you guys like, share, follow, subscribe, comment. We want to know what's your top 10 Scream Queens and why. So let us know that.
And let us know why some of their picks are wrong, please. And,
except for Alice, because she shouldn't be on
that list was absolutely correct in what I chose, the honorable mentions, and they will be added at some point in time in the top 10. Just want
everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner. Welcome to 2022. Everybody's a winner. But thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next time. The Scream Kings are out.